What I love about this church, we're fairly new. We've been here almost 2 years, and we went to several churches in the area and liked several of them, but this church was by far the most welcoming. We had more people come up to us here and welcome us and were happy to see us. And in the end, we let our children choose which church they liked best, and it was unanimous that it was this church. So it keeps us coming back because there's so many people here. It's a casual church, everybody's friendly, and it's just a nice place to be.
I find that our church is a good place for the youth because we really try to embrace them and we try to get God into their lives. I keep coming back because of that same reason. I find that it's a great place for anyone, young or old.
My parents came to this church in 1942. They picked this church. They went to several churches around the area, and they picked this church because it was very friendly. Neither one of them were Methodists before, but they just loved the people at this church. And I think that today, this church is a very friendly church.
You know, when I think of Faith United Methodist Church and what's good about our church, the list is pretty endless. We're a strong church. We're a dedicated church. We've been here for over 150 years plus. It may be small, but the nucleus that we have is strong. It's dedicated, and I think we got a positive future. We've been through many things up and down, and 150 years didn't break us at all. And I believe that we're going to be here for another 150 years. I believe that our church family is faithful to each other, faithful to the church, and it's a good group. What we need to do is share it more and have more people. And I think once they come here, and they'll realize that. And it's something that we've been members ever since, well, I've been a member ever since Sue and I got married. And of course, Sue even been longer since she was born. So it's our church home. It will always be our church home. It's a great church.
One of the best things about this church, I really believe, is its people. They are dedicated people. I find wonderful conversations about how people are thinking about what it means to be a Christian and how they can bring that to life in the church, in the community, in their workplace. One of the great joys being a pastor is having the privilege of being at the center of a lot of, not the center, but to be invited to the center of a lot of people's lives as they celebrate baptisms and weddings and as they mourn the loss of a loved one. And it's at times like that that people are willing to open up. And I hear people in these venues, especially, speaking to their faith.
I'm looking forward to serving the faith community as the new nursery coordinator. I'm really excited to be part of the nursery project, and I hope it's going to help our church to continue to grow and have more young people in it.
I love Sunday school the best every week.
I'm in charge of the liturgical art. Nancy and I did all the banners in the church several years ago. And so anything that we can do to make someone's experience in the worship service better or more meaningful is basically what I try to do.
And I try to serve God in the church by using my musical talents and trying to make the worship service special for people. I try and choose music that hopefully touches them some way, that it's a more meaningful experience when they come to church.
I serve this church through the youth, and trustee through my talents as far as construction, keeping this church running so we can keep it going, helping the youth out, seeing the smiles on their faces when they come to church, realize church can be fun. Starting Sunday school class now, and that's a fun time for me and the kids, I believe.
We try to do the best we can in our home for our kids to serve by example, which is we constantly talk to them about, look how you're treating this person. How would you feel if you were being treated that way? And constantly telling them to look at things from somebody else's point of view. I had a discussion with my son today about a disagreement he had with a teacher and how they had miscommunication. And he had to look at it from her side and say, yeah, maybe I could see how she could feel that way. So, we freely talk about God in our family, and we talk about other religions and being open and looking at, they have these other ideas, and that's okay. We may not share them, but it's okay that they have them. So we try to keep it in every day and in every part, even though we're not, every sentence isn't about God. It's a way of how we live and how they view the world.
I think the best way that I can serve God in the world is to help make this corner of it as best as I can, to bring God's kingdom come to this small corner of the world, because it's all connected. And I think that if we can make our corner as best as we can for God, that makes the world a better place.
Vision for the future would be visitation. Visitation of members of our church, of new potential members of our church. It's getting out and greeting and meeting people.
One of the dreams I have for the church is to try to get more open to the community. We do a lot in the community, but I was thinking try to get a lot more people here, so budgeting in the church wouldn't be quite as much an issue as we have now.
I believe God's calling me to serve here in this church by doing more for our visitors here. Each visitor we get, we would love to keep with us.
I serve the church by singing in the choir, and I've already sung one solo. And I would wish that there were more young people and a children's choir. I wish the bell was working in this church.
I would just also like to have being able that if there was a mission that we wanted to get involved in, that we could do that. It would just be nice that we wouldn't have to, we can't do it because we can't afford it, or we can't do it because we don't have enough people. It would just be nice that someday we can say we want to get involved in this mission. Maybe it's a community mission, maybe it's a worldwide mission, and people would jump at the chance to do it, or we could help support it in some way. So that's kind of what I would like to see.
I am just one.
We are just two.
I am just one.
I can make a difference.
We can make a difference.
I can make a difference.
Together.
Together.
Together we can serve.
Together we can serve.
Make a difference.
A difference.
A difference.